For the space of an instant, and having lasted, it disappears. Next, there arises a neither unpleasant nor pleasant mind. This neither unpleasant nor pleasant mind lasts for the space of an instant, and having lasted, it disappears. When it has disappeared, there arises again a pleasant mind. The three feelings being impermanent, the mind also is impermanent. Furthermore, the ascetic knows that there are minds of lust or non-lust, of hatred or non-hatred, of delusion or non-delusion, distracted or concentrated, fettered or liberated, and he knows that these minds each have a different characteristic. Thus he knows that the mind is impermanent, that there is no fixed mind lasting for eternity. Minds experiencing suffering, minds experiencing happiness, etc., arise from a complex of causes and conditions, and when these causes and conditions disperse, the minds disappear as well. This is how the yogin considers the impermanent nature of the inner minds, the outer minds, and the both internal and external minds. Question. Since the mind consists of the inner bases of consciousness, how can there be external minds? Answer. When the inner body i.e., one's own body is being considered, there is inner mind. But when the outer body i.e., another's body is being considered, there is outer mind. Moreover, if it concerns inner dharmas, the mind is inner. But if it concerns external dharmas, the mind is external. Moreover, the first five consciousnesses always concern outer dharmas, and being unable to make distinctions are outer minds. But the mental consciousness, being concerned with inner dharmas and distinguishing beauty from ugliness, is an inner mind. Finally, the mental consciousness which, on its arising, is incapable of distinguishing and specifying, is an external mind. But the developed and deepened mental consciousness which can make distinctions and grasp characteristics is an inner mind. Such are the distinctions between inner and outer minds. Considerations 10 to 12 coming under Dharma Smrtyupasthana. The yogin, whose mind has been cultivated, knows that the body is of impure nature, that feeling is suffering in nature, and that the mind has no duration and is impermanent in nature. Nevertheless, not having yet broken through the fetters, he still happens to be aware of self. Then he has the following thought. If the mind is impermanent, who is cognizing the mind, and on whom does the mind depend? Who is the master of the mind that is experiencing suffering and happiness? To whom does everything belong? Then he analyzes and recognizes that there is no master as a separate entity. One grasps characteristics and the five aggregates, and, just for this single reason, one imagines the existence of a man, and one produces the idea of me. From the idea of me comes the idea of mine, and from the idea of mine comes that of existence. Toward those who benefit us, we feel love. Toward those who thwart us, we feel hatred. These two fetters do not come from knowledge but from error. This is what is called delusion. The triple poison, love, hatred, and delusion, is the root of all the passions. By means of egotism, one accomplishes meritorious actions in order, one says, that I may then be able to cultivate the auxiliary dharmas of the path and may be able to attain deliverance. The grasping of characteristics that occurred at the beginning is called the concept aggregate. Then out of egotism, one produces the fetters and the good formations called the formation aggregate. These two aggregates are the object of mindfulness of dharmas. The yogin, who is seeking the Atman in these dharmas that are the samshna skandha and the samskara skandha, does not find it there. Why? Because dharmas are the result of causes and conditions, are all of them conditioned dharmas and have no solidity. There is no true Atman. The formations are like the trunk of a banana tree. Leaf by leaf it is examined, but no pith is found. Concept is like a mirage seen from afar. Without there being any water there, if one gets the notion that there is water, one has the concept of water, but it is nothing but an illusion. Such are the considerations on inner, outer, and both honor and outer dharmas. Question. Dharmas being included in the outer bases of consciousness, how can there be inner dharmas? Answer. By inner dharmas we mean the skandha of concept and the skandha of formations associated with the inner mind. By outer dharmas we mean 1. The skandha of concept and the skandha of formations associated with the outer mind. 2. The formations dissociated from the mind. 3. The unconditioned dharmas. Taken simultaneously and together, these internal and external dharmas are called both inner and outer dharmas. Furthermore, the inner dharmas are the 6 organs. The outer dharmas are the 6 objects. Finally, the general considerations on 1. The body, 2. The sensations, 3. The mind, 4. The aggregate of concept, and 5. The aggregate of formations are the mindfulness of dharmas. Why is that? Actually, the yogin first looks for the Atman in the aggregate of concept but does not find it there. He then turns his search to the body, sensations and mind, but does not find it there either. In no matter what dharma, be it material or non-material, visible or invisible, resistant or non-resistant, impure or pure, conditioned or unconditioned, distant or near, coarse or subtle, the yogin seeks in vain for the Atman but does not find it. It is only to the complex of the 5 aggregates that the name of being is given out of habit, and being is synonymous with Atman. The self being non-existent, neither is there any mind, and the mind being non-existent, all the passions are eliminated. Summary. A. The foundation of mindfulness of the body concerns all material dharmas. As a first approach, the yogin considers the inner material things as being impermanent, painful, empty and without self. As a second and third approach, he considers outer material things, then inner and outer material things likewise, as being impermanent, painful, empty and without self. The other 3 foundations of mindfulness consider sensations, mind and dharmas as being likewise impermanent, painful, empty and without self, respectively. B. The concentration of emptiness associated with the inner considerations of the 4 foundations of mindfulness is called inner emptiness. The concentration of emptiness associated with the outer considerations of the 4 foundations of mindfulness is called outer emptiness. The concentration of emptiness associated with inner and outer considerations of the 4 foundations of mindfulness is called inner and outer emptiness. 5. The 3 emptinesses result from concentration.